there's, if you try to compare, the energy industry, the industrial space today with what it was, what they were 10 years ago, they've changed almost beyond recognition. The energy utility side has evolved into really what is really no longer a unidirectional model of energy generation, transmission, and distribution. You're now seeing a whole new cluster of technologies and platforms that are distributed all across the grid, both in front of the meter and behind the meter, meaning in industrial, commercial settings as well as in residential settings. You could easily say today that the enabler of all these changes is really the digital transformation. In the energy space, you have a lot of focus on decentralizing the grid and decarbonizing. It's a major shift in technology and focus on the part of the energy producers to really cut down the carbon footprint of their technology, their infrastructure. So it's really a fascinating time on the utility side. And to just dig into the details a little more, when we talk about distributed energy resources, we talked about a whole new set of platforms and technologies. We're talking about smart cities. We're talking about electric vehicle charging stations. And most importantly, we're talking about distributed generation of power, microgrids. So it's really a fascinating time for change. In the heavy industry, in the oil and gas, mining, chemical, we're talking about just as much change as we've seen in the past. You have autonomous technology, you have autonomous OT platforms that are really increasing safety at the operational level, minimizing headcount and workforce. One would ask, what is in this new ecosystem, what is really the overarching change in terms of technology, operational technology, and information technology? Well, it's the fact that more and more platforms are relying now on very delicate, very sensitive electronic systems, controllers, platforms. And these are really having to operate in a very reliable way, particularly because they're operating in harsh, extreme environments. Just think about an oil rig, an oil platform, a mining site, or a substation somewhere along the grid. So this is really an ecosystem shift that has driven a lot of interest, a lot of enthusiasm in XCO, and we're here to really drive value and solutions for the benefit of the industry and the customers.